Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where today I'm finally going to show off my entire Sonic figure collection, including Jazwares, Tomy, and Jakks. I'm recording this as of after finishing filming, and I'm just going to say right now, this took me 3 hours to film and probably going to take 2 hours to edit. So I have no idea how long this video is going to be. It's been fun. It's given me a chance to really shine some light on figures that I haven't even looked at in a while. I just have them on the shelf. It also gave me a chance to reorganize my shelves, so that's a very nice thing. So yeah, either way, I hope you guys enjoy, and we're gonna jump straight into it. Alright, so we're going to start off with my Jazwares figures, and I only have two of them, Shadow and Super Shadow. And these guys are amazing. I love them. I mean, they're great. Look at them. So they are on the smaller side of things, just a little bit bigger than your 2.5-inch Jakks figures, but definitely smaller than a 4-inch figure. And they look great. They have a lot more articulation. They look pretty accurate to the games. Not as accurate as Jakks, but you can tell this is Shadow without a shadow of a doubt. Haha. But this is definitely Shadow the Hedgehog, and he looks great. I love the way these figures look. I love their extra articulation, even if I think it does take away from the look a little bit. I think it makes him look, I forget who said it, but someone described it as muscular, and I definitely think that they're correct in that he looks a little bit muscular. My Shadow that I have here, I mean, I bought him secondhand. I wasn't around really during the peak of their sales, or at least I wasn't collecting Sonic merchandise at that time when Jazwares still had the license. I really stepped in around Tomy. So having said that, I got him secondhand, and there are some issues with him. This wrist is super glued, as you can see from the little bit of shine on there. So this doesn't turn. This leg is really loose, but other than that, I'd say he's in pretty peak condition. My Super Shadow is actually in perfect condition still, minus the paint missing on the nose. No looseness or anything. This is a almost brand new feeling figure. It's amazing, and I only got him for 20-some bucks. It was a steal. So, and again, just the accuracy of the paint, especially. Jakks sometimes kind of cheaps out, and they didn't go full golden with this. And it's for sure between the two figures, their skin tones are different. The inhibitor rings are different colors, and for some reason, the bottoms of his shoes are white. But I mean, everything's painted on, and the main thing with this is he's the right color, and Jakks didn't do that with their Super Shadow, which I still don't even own. Jakks really needs to re-release Super Shadow, make him the correct color, because, I mean, for one, he's a character that not a lot of people have, and two, he's a character that desperately needs to be fixed and made how he should be. But either way, both of these guys, they look great. All the details that are necessary are on there. It's really just, I think, odd that the shades of skin and inhibitor rings are just different for some reason. Even the reds are different. He has a brighter red, and he has a darker red, and that's a little odd too. But overall, I love these guys. Jazwares did a great job on their line, and yeah, they look fabulous. So yeah, as far as articulation goes, I'll use Super Shadow. It's a lot tighter and better. They were able to kick this far forward and this far back around the same range as a Jakks figure on the legs along with their knees. They went up and down on the arms and all the way around, basically. Not all the way around, I mean, but I mean, as much around as you need, I guess, just like Jakks. Unlike Jakks, though, they do have elbow joints, which really does add to the articulation, makes it great, but also takes away from the looks, as I said, making it kind of jut out and look a little odd and muscular for some reason. But their ankles turn, their wrists turn, all as they should. They did have a swivel on the waist, or I guess on Shadow it's more towards his stomach. This Shadow's is also on his stomach. I thought his was on the waist, but so that was a really good added piece of articulation there. And of course the head did turn left and right. So, I mean, Jazwares really went for just an outstanding looking figure with amazing articulation. And I'd say they delivered. Scale-wise, I have my ruler here, I believe 3 inches. And, yep, they're about 3 inches tall, so a little bit taller than your 2.5-inch figures by half an inch, and an inch shorter than a 4-inch figure. And for the scale they were working with, they look amazing. So yeah, there's my Jazwares figures, and they are beautiful. I love them. And now, as I mentioned, I really got into getting Sonic merchandise around Tomy, and I wouldn't even say I really got into it around Tomy, but I got quite a few of their stuff, just whoever I thought I wanted, and to be fair, it was also my grandma who got them for me, because around that time I would have been, 9 or 10, so even around that time I didn't have, I wasn't buying a lot of figures, so it was a lot of gifts for my grandma, and I got all the modern characters that they released, pretty much. I got Sonic, Knuckles, Tails right here. I also got another Sonic, another Tails, and another Knuckles. And I got one classic Sonic, one Metal Sonic, and a modern Metal Sonic, and as well as 3 Chows. So I got, just like a small amount, but more than Jazwares. And I really love these guys when I got them. As you can tell, they were well loved when I used them. I got them, when I was like 9, 10, so they have been through a lot. So starting off, I'll just kind of go over where I got them, kind of how I did with Shadow and Super Shadow from Jazwares. So I don't know if it was this exact modern Sonic, but I got a modern and a classic Sonic through the comic 2-pack, and I'll put that up here. But, so Sonic and classic Sonic came together in a 2-pack for, like, a comic book. And this was also while Archie was still around, and it wasn't IDW yet, which is kind of cool. So they came with, I forget which issue, but an issue of an Archie comic and the 2 figures. The comic is really cool, but I obviously wanted the pack for the figures themselves, and they look amazing. Even these, I'd say, are more accurate to the models and the look of the games than what Jazwares had. However, that doesn't mean they're the better figures, because while they definitely look accurate, they in no way compare in articulation, like, at all, like, even a little bit. And that, I think, just kind of takes away a lot for me. Now, looking back on them, I still love these guys, and they're still amazing, but I'd say that Tomy definitely had the least, I don't know, they had the worst of the figures, and that's not to say they're bad, but articulation was literally all the way around like this, forward and back like this, and side to side on the head. Very basic articulation, and the way they put the joints on, too, with the legs being, like, up like this, that takes a lot away from the looks, too. But the head sculpts especially are very accurate to the game and look really nice. Classic Sonic also looks really nice, as you can tell. He's been through a lot. Paint chipping off the nose, paint chipping off the belly. He's seen a lot of things. I think the classic figures look great overall. Their articulation is awesome because they can go all the way around here, like so, and forward and backwards, along with the arms, which can go all the way around, sort of, if it wanted to. There we go, all the way around like so, and the wrists also turn, so he gets extra articulation from modern Sonic. His head also goes all the way around like so. And yeah, overall, this classic Sonic is a really good figure, and so is Tomy's modern Sonic, but I think that just the way the joints are connected just takes away a little bit, and the articulation. So he looks pretty good, but definitely the weakest Sonic figure that I have, I guess. Continuing the 2-packs, I got Metal Sonic and Classic Metal Sonic, again the comic 2-pack. This was after the fall of Archie, or whatever you want to call it. They came with a webcomic or some sort, I think, just on an actual comic book. And these guys are really cool. This Metal Sonic is my favorite Tomy figure I have. He looks spectacular, and the way the joints are on there and everything, I don't think takes away at all. I love this Metal Sonic figure. I'd say it rivals the Jakks one almost. I just think that Jacks's is slightly better with how they handle the metal, because this is just super bright paint. But other than that, they're both, this and Jacks's are both great. And I love this figure so much. He's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites, actually. And the classic Metal Sonic is no exception. As far as my classic figures go, this is also one of my top tier ones. I love how he looks. His pose is pretty cool. How he's kind of got this like almost flying sort of thing going on. He looks a little, I don't know. It's like he's supposed to be carrying something like that. But either way, they both are amazing. Their articulation is pretty good too. I mean, it's similar to how Jakks is pre-posed. It does limit more than even regular modern Sonic, but overall, you can still get some poses out of them. They're mainly obviously meant to be like Metal Sonic looks like this. You can have him flying, and it looks good too, decently. And classic Metal Sonic's supposed to be kind of stood like this, but again, you can kind of do like a flying pose, and it looks fine. Yeah, these guys are just great. I think that Tomy did an amazing job with Metal Sonic, classic Metal Sonic, and they are spectacular, really. I love these guys. Now, my first Tails and my first Knuckles, I got just single releases off of whether it's eBay, Etsy, Amazon, some online shop my grandma got them from. And these guys, again, are just amazing. So, as you can see, they have some paint wore off. I say they're absolutely amazing, but look at Tails. Let's be real, Tomy was not cooking with Tails. Why are his legs up that far? He looks so bad. Not bad. His head sculpt is great. I like this sculpt better than what Jakks puts on their tails. I'm just gonna say that. But this torso just messes the whole figure up. It makes it look just dorky and cheap. Like, I don't like this at all. But from like the head looks amazing. So, but yeah, all their tails had this really weird look to them. So there's that. Knuckles actually was a fabulous figure though. The way his legs are on there don't really subtract much to me. I think that he's really accurate to the games and just looks super nice. So yeah, Knuckles and Tails for you, looking great. And finally, the last thing I got were, duplicates of all three of these guys, which came in a Chow pack. So again, we got Modern Sonic, we got Knuckles, and we got Tails. And we'll put these guys all back here because I've already shown them off. So the real thing for these is that they came with the Chow. So we got this little happy guy, what looks like the face of a dark Chow, just kind of on one of the regular guys. And he's like cheering, he's so happy. And these are my first Chow figures, which I guess isn't too much of a surprise considering I wasn't around for really any of Jazwares stuff. Like, I wasn't collecting any of the merchandise at that time. So yeah, I was lucky enough for my grandma to pick this up. I had no idea what the Chow were at the time, but now I know. At the time, I was just like, these guys were off to the side, and I really only cared about them. But looking back, they're all the same mold. They have no articulation, but hey, they're really nice looking. And I used to have them on my shelf, and I don't know why I don't anymore, because they look nice next to Jakks figures too. So I'll have to put them back up there. But yeah, taking a look at just this guy. They're all the same mold, just different faces. Very basic, no paint besides the face. But overall, they look like Chow, and they're pretty great. Alright, now up next, I'm going to go over all of my classic figures, starting with the 2.5 inch line here. And yeah, let's just get right into it. So starting off, I'm just going to go over all my variants of Sonic himself here, because he's the main guy. So, obviously we have our basic standing Sonic here. He's smiling, looks great, and is what you'd expect from a Jakks figure. Very accurate, very nice looking, has great articulation, and is what you'd expect to see from Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's very nice. So here's our smiling one. I have a similar one right here, the angry Sonic. He's got his brow furrowed, he's upset, Eggman's done something that he just doesn't quite like, and he's ready to go take him on for it. And it's the exact same mold as this one. He's just got an angry face. So that's pretty cool. Up next, we have two waving Sonics. I forget where I got most of these actually. So I know that this Sonic I got probably just in the card, whatever. I have no idea where I got two waving Sonics from. It's probably on the channel somewhere. I'm pretty sure I got a 5-pack of all the heroes, and that's where one of them came from. But I really don't know where this came from, whether I got them single, packaged, or what, I don't know. But we have 2 Waving Sonics. Up next, we've got our, we'll do Rolled Up Ball Sonic. This came with that big guy back there. And yeah, he's literally just Sonic rolled into a ball. Got a little paint chips on here. But yeah, there's no articulation, nothing to it. Looks like classic Sonic, and you throw him at the panel there, and he breaks the Death Egg robot. I'm not going to go into that, however, because he's really difficult to put back together, and I don't want to do that. But yeah. Up next, we got my favorite one, Chili Dog Sonic. I love this guy. He's got the same head sculpt as our Sonic here, and also I'm pretty sure just a mirrored version of this arm. But his little chili dog holding hand, I love that. He's eating his chili dog, and he's having a good time. And this is the figure I display with all my 2.5-inch ones. I love this one. And they're making a modern one. I'm going to pick that up right away, too, because I just love the little chili dog in his hand. I think that's so funny. But yeah, finally, we have our Super Sonic. And, I mean, I reviewed him on my shorts page, and he's just a nice looking figure of Super Sonic. I don't know if he reuses any of Sonic. It looks like it's like a mirrored version of Sonic's normal stance, and then his arms are their own thing, or at least it seems that way. And yeah, just a nice looking Super Sonic. Now, Sonic has a lot of friends, and especially in the classic era, and I only have one of each of most of them. So let's just start off with Tails, and Tails here looks great. He's Sonic's oldest friend, besides maybe Amy, if we're talking timeline standpoint, and I guess CD released same time as Sonic too. So overall, he's known Amy longer, but undeniably, Tails is Sonic's best friend and closest buddy. And yeah, this figure of him looks great. He has all the articulation you'd hope for. Goes up and down, all that sort of stuff. And is just a nice looking version of classic Tails. And I mean, he scales well next to Sonic too, for it being the 2.5-inch line. Never mind, they're the same size. I never noticed that before. Weird. Okay, well, I guess I didn't notice. Either way, very nice looking figure. And yeah. Up next, we're going to take a look at Knuckles, one of my favorite of Jakks' 2.5-inch classic figures. He's just a very nice looking dude. I like his, simple design. And overall, he's just a really nice figure. Again, good articulation. The dreads do hinder it a little bit. But just a good representation of Knuckles the Echidna here. Looking all the way around. All the paint's nice on there. Got paint on his shoes, the soles, and I mean, yeah, you can undeniably tell that this is Knuckles, which is good. You'd hope that when you buy a figure of Knuckles, it looks like the character, and nothing wrong with him. Looks great. Up next, we're going to take a look at Amy here. I mentioned in the 4-inch review that I just like her design a lot. I like the color of the dress compared to like the pink. It really just gives her like this unique look. And yeah, the 2.5-inch figure is just a scaled down version of the 4-inch, obviously. And I'm pretty sure the 2.5-inch came first, but overall, just a nice figure. I'm not going to have much else to say other than the fact that they all look great, accurate to the source material, and have good articulation. Just Jakks quality at its finest. And finally, we have Mighty. I don't have Ray yet. I'm maybe going to get him eventually, but I don't feel like paying any more than like $5 for him because Ray isn't exactly my favorite character, so I don't feel like spending like $10 on a 2.5-inch figure of him when I already have the 4-inch. But either way, we have Mighty here, and I love playing as Mighty in Sonic Mania. He's so fun, and I really like his design too. I mean, he's mostly just all black with that like red shell. It's a very iconic looking design, and he looks a lot like Sonic, which I forget what the story behind him is, but there's a reason he looks just like Sonic. Something about how he's an original design of him or something, or a reskin or something. I don't know what it is, but Either way, he's a very nice looking figure. He's got like in this punching pose, like he's gonna break through a wall or something. And yeah, nice looking mighty figure. Now, Sonic has a lot of opposition in the original games, especially when it comes to the Badniks. There are so many different forms, and we're going to take a look at them first before looking at any of the heavy hitters over here. So, taking a look at all of these guys, first we got our Motobug, and I really love all the Badniks. There's no articulation, really. I mean, he's got his wheel. You can take this off, and you can drive around, you know, which is pretty fun. Obviously, for ease of use, I display him with the display thing in. And yeah, I mean, Motobug looks awesome. I think he's really cool. This might be the modern design because he's got kind of like that more, like he's got more detail on him, but I put him with the rest of the Badniks because why not? He's just a cool looking guy. I actually just finished the IDW Collection 5, the one with Starline on the cover of it. And there's a little friendly Motobug in there. Now that I'm seeing him, it's reminded me of that. And I thought that was kind of funny. Oh, his arms do move, by the way. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, there is our Motobug. And up next, who do we want to look at? Let's look at Crab Meat. Crab Meat is, I mean, just a little crab. I love crustaceans, as you probably know at this point. I mean, I literally have my little lobster guy here. So, Crab Meat just is probably one of my favorite Badnik designs. When there was a giant crab in the Sonic movie, I thought that was super funny. I don't know what it is about crustaceans, and especially lobsters, but even crabs, I just think that they're so goofy, and I really love them. So, Crab Meat has got to be one of my favorite Badniks. He's simple. He's got his big eyes, massive claws, and yeah, he's just a crab, I guess. I don't know. He's cool. Next, we're going to take a look at Buzz Bomber here. And, I mean, again, just a nice, simple, good design. These guys are annoying, but I think that the figure looks great. They're always jumping me, though. I'm not going to lie. In Sonic 1, I'm pretty sure that first one hits me 50% of the times I play through because I take a weird route, but that's unimportant. Buzz Bomber looks great. Again, not much articulation. I didn't even know he moved like that. Apparently he has a waist swivel, so, you know, and that's kind of a cool way to display him. He's kind of like flying forwards at you, or you can have him turned around like he's ready to shoot you. He's got his thrusters on the back, so, like, what's the point of the wings? They're just for looks, I guess. You can't have a bee, or I guess wasp, whatever he's supposed to be. Can't have it without wings, I guess. So Eggman literally just put him on there to impress and be aesthetic because he already has thrusters to get him where he needs to go. Either way, a very good figure. I suppose maybe the wings would control his up and down, and then this controls his forward and backwards. I don't know. I'm not Eggman. I didn't design him. I just know that it's a good design. Looks great. And finally, we got Newton, I believe is his name. I thought I had a Chopper. I don't have Chopper. No, that's right. I thought I had Chopper, and I thought I had the Rhino one, but I don't. So I don't know where I got that idea from. Either way, Newton looks great. I think that besides Crab Meat, I think that this has got to be my second favorite one of the Badniks, especially the 2.5 inch. I mean, look at him. He's a little lizard, bro. I love this guy. He's so cool. He's got more articulation than any of the other ones. He's got his head that moves side to side, up and down, and all the way around. It's just a giant ball joint in there, it looks like. He's got legs that move forward, backwards, tail that moves all the way around decently enough. Maybe not all the way around, but yeah, I mean, he's got more articulation than the rest, and just look at I love their massive eyes, man, and he is just such a cool looking guy. I think that this Motobug, looking at the rest of these classic designs, he's most definitely a modern Motobug, but I don't care. He'll stay with the rest of them. They're all best friends on my shelf, and I just love this guy. He's so funny to me. All right, and up next, we're going to look at the first Metal Sonic. Well, no, that's not even true. This is whatever. We're looking at Mecha Sonic, and this figure is it's just so cool. I never take him off the shelf really to really mess around with him, but his articulation and just his looks are so clean. He's such a cool looking guy, and I love him. Really, I love this design. All the Metal Sonic designs, Mecha Sonic designs, and especially Metal Knuckles. If we could get a figure of Metal Knuckles, my life would be complete, because all of Eggman's robot knockoffs of the main cast just hit so hard for some reason. And yeah, Mecha Sonic is no exception. He may not be painted at all to look like Sonic, but Eggman definitely got the aesthetics of him there. He's got the buzzsaw mohawk there, kind of like how Western Sonic had when in the classic era, his mohawk. And this guy just looks so cool. We're getting a bigger version of him, I'm pretty sure. I probably won't pick it up. One, because I don't have room on the shelf, and two, because I'm not that interested in a giant Mecha Sonic. But it's still cool. And this figure, I mean, he just looks great. So he's got, I mean, he can look up a decent amount, down a decent amount, all the way around. Arms go up, down. He can clap his hands almost. I mean, that's pretty good. And then kicks forward, back, all that sort of stuff. Legs go out, legs go in. And you can get some kind of cool poses of him. So, yeah. For a 2.5-inch figure, this is really well done. And I just love the design of all the Metal Sonics. And he's so menacing looking. He just looks so tanky, and I love that. He looks great. Up next, we're going to take a look at Classic Metal Sonic, and I don't know which one I like better between him or Tomy. I think I like this one better, just the eyes, just because of the eyes, really, and just, he doesn't look as squashed. This one looks a little bit squashed, and he doesn't, but again, Tomy's is really good. I really like Tomy's Metal Sonics. Either way, he is a great-looking figure, again, with great articulation. Really, I think, as good as the main cast are, when it comes to the classic line, the Badniks and the robots are just the best part, because they're so simple yet so cool. And yeah, Metal Sonic here, as I've mentioned, no exception. His eyes are just like so menacing, looking down on you like that. Or I guess he's not looking down at all, but he just looks angry all the time. It's cool. Again, with the metal parts, could have actually been metallic, but you know, whatever. Not going to complain too much. Overall, again, an amazing figure from Jakks. Alright, now we're going to take a look at Eggman, and I have him seated in this 3D printed Eggmobile that I made and painted myself. One of my better things that I've done as far as the handiwork stuff goes. I am not an artist at any means, so I'm pretty proud of this. But this isn't what we're looking at. We're looking at Eggman himself, and he's pretty cool. Kind of lackluster. His arms don't go down all the way. He's on camera oddly yellow. He's not that yellow in real life. He looks like classic Eggman, and it's a good look. So I, of course, have him in his all bravado pose in the thing, because when I display him, I have him in front of his Death Egg robot, so he's showing it off. But yeah, overall, just a really nice classic Dr. Eggman. I don't have much to say on this one. He's pretty basic, but still cool. And finally, I do want to take a look at the Death Egg robot itself, if my camera wouldn't completely collapse. Yeah, this guy is awesome. So, again, this panel does shift. Maybe I can... Oh, no, okay. I don't want you to do that yet. Okay, so it does shift, so you can have him be battle damaged a little bit. We're going to set you back to original, though, because I don't want you falling apart on me. Yeah, he does have articulation, which is pretty cool. He looks side to side like so. His arms don't move. I mean, they move up and down, but they won't stay that way because they pop in and out so much. Okay. Well, his arms, as you can see, do have a swivel that go up and down. They don't go that far up, and obviously, as I just showed, you want to be careful when you're moving them. The elbow joints, I mean, you can move them around as much as you want. They go backwards and forwards. And he shoots his hands out like so, which is, pretty cool. Let's plug that back in. If I can maybe get this back in there, perfect. The shoulder pads move up and down. I never took the rubber bands off this. I've had them for years. How did I not notice that there are rubber bands on them? Hold on. Okay, well, odd. So, yeah, both the shoulder pads do move up so that way he can, bend his arms more. It once again popped out, so it doesn't help that much, but it's there. His legs move up and down like so, And he does have a bend at the knee just a little bit, not very much. But he is still articulated, which is pretty cool. The figure itself, this is a really nice piece that I love to have on my shelf. It's so menacing. Reminds me of all the fear and horror that I had to face trying to fight this in Sonic 2. It actually took me so many attempts, and then in Sonic 4, which if you watch the video, you'll see it is causing me just as much trouble despite it being easier to hit, but whatever. So he's got a jetpack on the back so you can have his thrusters up or down. So that's pretty cool. This one won't go down all the way. There we go. And then you can put them right back up. And overall, yeah, really cool Death Egg robot. I love this guy. All right, now starting off with the classic 4-inch line of figures, I have two, again, just classic Sonics. They are the exact same figure. The first one I got in a 2-pack with Mighty back there. This one I have no idea where I got it, or I guess I don't know which one exactly came with Mighty, but either way, I'm not entirely sure where I got a second one. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. So we have two classic Sonics, exact same figure. The articulation, I mean, what you'd expect from a Jakks figure. It's really good. And yeah, nothing too special about them. It's the 4-inch classic line, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I collect it a little bit, but I mean, I don't have Super Sonic. I don't have any of the heavy egg robos besides that one. I don't have like a lot of it. The only one I'm really wanting is Metal Sonic, but past that, yeah, I don't collect these. They're okay, but you know. Again, we're going to do Tails next, and Tails is a really nice figure, especially from this line. I like the scaled up version, and yeah, I mean, again, articulation is the same. Everything's the same. The figures of the 2.5-inch to the 4-inch, like it's just the same figure scaled up and with knee articulation, basically. And yeah, again, Tails looks really nice, so looks good. Up next, we're going to take a look at Knuckles, and I'm just going to keep saying it. It's a scaled-up version of the 2.5-inch figure, and there's not really much else to say past that. Really nice-looking figure, really good design. Everything I said about the 2.5-inch version pretty much still stands. So, yeah, very nice-looking classic Knuckles. Up next, we're going to do Amy here. And she's probably, of all of Sonic's friends, my favorite of the 2.5 or 4-inch line. She does have waist articulation, which is really nice. And I like this figure better. I don't know what it is about the 2.5-inch compared to this one, but I like this one a lot better. And it's definitely my favorite of all of Sonic's friends when it comes to the 4-inch line. She just looks, I mean, super flashy, super cool, and is a great addition, especially like just a splash of color on the shelf. Looks great. Next, we're going to take a look at Mighty, and he's not just an upscaled version of the 2.5-inch figure. He has a different pose where he's got his hand out, and, you know, he's like, I don't know what this is, but he's like kind of stopping something. And he looks really cool. Mouth is not painted where the mouth is supposed to be. It looks weird. Anyways, it's a nice figure of Mighty, again. I would like to have modern Mighty eventually, and I know he's not real, so I'm not saying that as like I'd like to have a figure of him, which I would, but I'd like to see Mighty in the modern game soon, because his design is really cool. I mean, it's just, right now, for the classic, it's just jet black with this, you know, red shell, and it'd be cool to see modern Mighty in the games and be able to play as him especially, because I love playing as Mighty, as I mentioned, in Mania. But, yeah, Mighty looks great. And this time, I actually do have Ray. So, Ray is, I mean, a cool-looking figure. Again, he's not my favorite character. If I'm trying to fly around, I much prefer Tails. And as far as his design goes, it's, I mean, pretty cool. He's bright yellow, minus the dust. I apparently haven't done a very good job at dusting. That's gross. So, I will take care of that. Anyways, yeah, he is a very nice-looking figure, and I mean, not much else to say past that. I mean, I like his shoes a lot, actually. His nice, bright blue shoes. His ability in game is cool. As I said, I'd prefer flying his tails, but hey, it's a nice-looking Ray. That rhymed. Now, as far as the villains go, I only got 3 of them. And starting up, let's just look at Eggman. You know what? Why not? So he looks, great. Again, an upscaled version of the 2.5-inch figure, and he's cool. I mean, I like the additional articulation, but past that, there's not much else to say on his design. Just like the rest of the classic characters, really simple. Why is this having a hard time bending there? Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I keep saying because I have no idea what to say on him. Good articulation, good looking figure. It's a nice Eggman. Next, let's take a look at Egg Robo. This guy's really cool. I like him a lot. Comes with his massive blaster here. Got a little bit of paint scuffing on it, which is odd. I've had him on the shelf. Maybe he came out of the box like that. Either way, he good articulation, I guess. And he's a really clean figure. Looks really nice. And I love this guy. I kind of wouldn't have minded having Heavy King and the police looking one. And the police one I can still get. Heavy King, there's no point in even looking anymore. I don't want to spend like $30 on him. I'm not that attached to Heavy King. Although after reading the Seasons of Chaos comic, I'm a little more privy to maybe spending that much on it. But either way, this is just a nice looking 4-inch Egg Robo. I don't know what else to say, I guess. Good looking figure. And finally, we got Fang the Sniper, Knack the Weasel, whatever you want to call him. I love this guy. He's my favorite of the villains that I have. He's super sharp looking. I mean, everything about him is sharp. His tail is sharp. He's got a sharp tooth. His fur, everything. It's just so jagged and sharp, and it really gives him this bad guy look, and I love that for him. Also, just the fact that he's a bounty hunter in general is, I think, really cool. He's just a kind of guy who does his jobs. He'll work for whoever pays him enough, and I like characters like that. Again, with what I said about Mighty, I'd really like to see him in a modern context. It'd be kind of cool to have him around, but I also want to see figures of the rest of the characters. What is it, Bean and I don't know, I don't remember the bear's name because I like the bear the best of the trio, but I don't know his name, which is kind of crazy. I'll put it up on screen probably. Either way, I'd like to have figures of the rest of the trio because I really like them. And yeah, Fang though looks really cool. He came with a paper wanted poster, which I was not a fan of, still am not. It would have been cool to have a little pistol or something like that to actually have a good accessory with him. But oh well, it's still a very nice looking figure. And finally, to finish off the classic line, we have our collector's figures here. So here is the collector's Knuckles, classic Knuckles, and collector's classic Sonic. And these guys are really cool. $50 cool? Maybe not. That's why I got Knuckles for $30 on sale, and that's a much more reasonable price. But still, really nice figures. I'm not gonna bring out all their stuff because that would I already reviewed them and that would take forever. But just looking at the figures themselves, they have really nice articulation, of course. And even Knuckles got that added knee joint, which is really nice. Sonic looks great, looks side to side and all that. Legs kick out and come back as well. So you can get some nice poses off with him. This is the one that I have him on the stand with right now, the ring, and then the finger pointed up. I've had him running, I've had him doing all sorts of things on there. One thing that remains consistent usually is this face, because I loved the Adventures of Sonic thing for Sonic Mania. So I always have this animated looking face on him. I think it just makes him look all happy, and I like that. So yeah, I've got Sonic here looking great, and a very nice looking figure. And up next we got Knuckles, and Knuckles is even better than Sonic. Obviously, there have been years to improve on the formula, so he came with more. He came with, a rock for him to punch, bunch of faces, that kind of fun stuff. And I even have the Master Emerald displayed on there, even though it's not even near scale. It's just a little mini Master Emerald, I guess, then. And it looks good with him. And this figure it's perfect for a collector's figure. Besides the price, I don't think that any of the collector's figures are anywhere near worth $50, especially not Shadow. I still haven't bought him yet. I'm getting really close to because I've been seeing him even more and more, and he does scale well, and he looks pretty good with the rest of them. So I'm thinking I might buy him, but still $50 is ridiculous. Although that is what he's selling for now. He's not still going for $80 like when he first came out. And I've even seen them in stores, which is crazy. I've never seen any of these guys in stores. Either way, ranting aside, Knuckles looks just beautiful. It's well sculpted, well articulated, and when I got him for $30, definitely got to be the best price that I've ever paid for any Jakks product besides retail price, I guess. Either way, Knuckles is just an amazing figure, and yeah, I love the classic collectors. They're the best classic Jakks figures. All right, and now we're going to get into the longest part of the video, which is my modern collection. We're going to start with 2.5-inch figures. I don't have very many of them, and actually I haven't reviewed any of these ones on screen, I don't believe. But either way, I really love them. I like the little guys. I much prefer, obviously, the 4-inch. That's the main point of my collection, and I'll always pick up all the 4-inch modern characters I can. Unless they're kind of a crazy price. I'm a little bit more stingy with that now. Like, I won't pay $30 for Mephiles. I'm thinking about it, and I might, but either way, yeah, the 2.5-inch line is really great. I'm waiting for Amy because I know that they re-released her recently, so I want to see her, hopefully at Walmart, and get her, just to complete the main 4 lineup. But yeah, it's just, I really like these figures, and let's start off with Sonic as usual. So there are a lot of variants of Sonic. The one I got is one that I actually found at a Cracker Barrel, and it's this version of Sonic right here, if the camera will focus. The one with the thumbs up, and I really like this one. It's kind of a neutral pose minus the thumbs up, and he's just a cool looking guy. You can get him into a good running pose because of that bent arm, and he's, if I can get the camera to focus, I'll just have to back up. But you can get him into a good running pose because of that bent arm, as I said, and he's, I mean, again, just a 2.5-inch figure, has the Tomy articulation pretty much, plus a little more. And just a great figure overall. I'm sorry, Supersonic. I love him. I really do. I don't know why I like the 2.5-inch modern characters so much. I just think they're so cool. Up next, not much to say on this one, but we got our running Sonic. He's got wheels. Pretty cool. He slides like that. And not much else to say. He's got very limited articulation. He's still a very nice looking figure, but not as good as our thumbs up Sonic here. I like that one a lot better. But yeah, later. He didn't even roll. Okay, whatever. And lastly, we have Supersonic. He broke on me pretty quick, actually. As you can see, this is a little more hollow, and then this is just filled right up. That's all super glue. I dropped him once, and the foot just broke off. But that doesn't take away from the figure. I was able to fix him right away, and I think the Supersonic looks great. He's bright, vibrant, and I love the pointing hand. I wish they would have put that on the actual Supersonic figure. His torso looks a little weird. I don't know how to explain it, but obviously it's like a darker yellow almost, but it doesn't even feel like a darker yellow, just like it's the same yellow with something over it. I don't know, it's super weird to me, but everything else is fine, and this Supersonic looks great. I like the pose they've got him in with the pointing finger, and I wish they'd, as I said, put that on the 4-inch one, but very nice Supersonic. Next, we're going to look at Tails. I really only got him because he was cheap, and he had the purple Chaos Emerald, which is all I needed to complete my 7 emeralds. So, yeah, he's still a nice figure. I really like him. This one I did notice when he was the same size as Sonic, pretty much. Sonic is actually a little taller than him, just a little bit, but it's nice. But his legs are long, and his arms are super long. Like, wow, that is crazy. His fingers are almost touching the ground. It's a little uncanny. And this is where I'm going to kind of start, like, the head sculpt on Tails here. Let me grab the Tomy one. Now, despite the fact that Tomy is undoubtedly the weakest when it came to Sonic action figures, the Tails head sculpt is just so much better. Blows this one out of the water. It's so much more accurate, if you ask me. Tails' pupils are really wide for some reason, and he just looks so haunting compared to this one. And everything below the head sculpt is awful on this figure, if you ask me. I really don't like this Tails. I mean, I'm nostalgic for it, and I kind of like it, but you gotta admit, it's ugly. But what's not ugly is that head sculpt. And, I mean, I'll put them right side by side, and then maybe put an image of actual Tails, like right here or something. So you can see this is definitely more accurate, and this one is a little spooky if you ask me. Either way, though, I like the flying tail effect. It's cool. And yeah, not much else to say past that. Just a little bit of a creepy Tails figure. Up next, we got Knuckles, and I love this guy. I just love any figure of Knuckles. He looks great, and this is no exception. I mean, not much to say. He's got his big gloves, and you can get him into good poses, good running ones, punching ones, stuff like that. And yeah, Knuckles is he's just a chill guy, I guess. He's a cool looking figure. Not much else to say. Great Knuckles. All right, next we're going to look at Silver. Silver is what actually got me into getting not all of, but some of the modern 2.5-inch characters. I just saw them on shelves after I'd been hunting for Sonic merch, the 4-inch line forever, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. We'll get Silver. Why not? I figured I'd just get him, and then I just got a bunch more because I really liked the Silver. He was really cool. I mean, obviously super detailed, and that's what kind of got me like, wow, these are quality figures, even if they're smaller scale. So I figured I'd get just kind of some of the one-off characters I really wanted. And also Tails, because he had the emerald. But Silver looks great, and yeah, nothing wrong with him here. Looks awesome. Next, we're going to take a look at Shadow. I love this figure. I love his face. He's so angry. And they painted his inhibitor rings gold. Those are golden, shiny golden. And his shoes are shiny golden too. Why don't they do that on the 4-inch figure? It makes no sense to me. Whatever. This is probably one of my favorite Shadow figures from Jakks ever. I like it better than the 4-inch, honestly. It looks more accurate to the game character to me. Has the correct color on the shoes and the inhibitor rings. And is just a very nice looking Shadow. Not to say the 4-inch one is bad or anything, but this is just, in my opinion, more accurate and better Shadow figure. But maybe I'm crazy for that. Again, you can get him to some cool poses with his like running and all that. He's in a lot more of a neutral pose than the rest of the characters. Don't know why I stuttered over that, but he's just kind of got his arms at his side, a little bit bent, and then his palms facing upward, like he's carrying something. I'm not sure. Yeah, just a really, really good looking Shadow figure. For 2.5-inch, I think that this is better than the 4-inch. It's a great figure. And I dropped him. No. Yeah, so there he is. Next, we're going to look at Eggman, saving what I think is probably the best for last. This is a really good figure. I like that they gave him his elbow articulation. I know they gave it to Vector as well. And I prefer all the modern designs of the classic ones. I mean, that I think it would be kind of obvious considering I mainly collect the modern characters. The modern designs are a lot more sophisticated, I guess. There's a lot more to look at and just better, in my opinion. Not that the classic ones are bad, and also they had a lot less to work with at that time. So it makes sense that they weren't super overly designed like Eggman here. And yeah, I mean, he looks great, good figure, and not much else to say past that. He's just awesome. Now, this one is probably, besides Sonic himself, I think that this has got to be my favorite of the whole line, but how are you not going to start with Sonic when talking about your Sonic collection? I think that Metal Sonic's probably my favorite. I really like the way he looks. He's all menacing. Again, like, has the same pose pretty much as the 4-inch one, but a lot more forgivable considering the scale. And I just love Metal Sonic in general. So he's just super, I keep saying the word, but he's super menacing. And I think that it's just a really nice representation of the character. I like the pose. And overall, just a really good figure of Metal Sonic. Definitely one of my favorites of the 2.5-inch. Between him, Sonic, and honestly probably Shadow. And Shadow, he's so good. Anyways, yeah, this Metal Sonic is definitely up there. Some of the best that Jakks has in the scale. Alright, and now for the best part of the video, the longest part of the video, and the hardest part of the video for me, because I have to take all these guys off the shelf. And I have a lot of them. It's the 4-inch modern line. So I'm gonna do these in chunks. So starting with Sonic, then like all my Sonic figures and all my Tails, all my Knuckles, blah 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 blah, until we get through everything. And actually, I'll see how I do it as I go along. You'll know. But yeah, so I'm just gonna start off with all my Sonic because he's the main character. So I have a ton of him, as you can see. I mean, just a base blue Sonic alone. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of him, 3 Super Sonics and a Werehog. So that makes up what? So 6, 9, 10 Sonic the Hedgehog figures. That's just Sonic himself out of this line, which I think is crazy. But yeah, starting out, we're going to take a look at the first Sonic I got, or I guess blue Sonic I got. Those of you who have been watching for a while know that Super Sonic is actually my first figure of Sonic the Hedgehog himself. But taking a look at this guy right here, this is the first version of base Sonic that I got. And man, Jakks, holy, this is bad on the face sculpt. Wow. He looks for sure. Obviously Jakks got a lot better as time went on, but this guy was my first ever Sonic and I loved him. I thought he was awesome at the time. I don't know. I don't remember if I complained about the face sculpt at all. As you can see, he's got some markings on him. I don't know what that even was, but I've had him, I mean, for a long time. Very first blue Sonic figure I got, and I got him basically right away after shadowing them because how are you going to have a Sonic figure collection, not a blue Sonic, just base Sonic? And yeah, I think he's great. I love him. I'm very nostalgic for him, even though it's only been a couple of years, so I shouldn't be that nostalgic. But every time I see him, it just makes me remember the kind of start of the channel and what really made me took off. I did Apex for a while. I tried Star Wars, Marvel Legends, Halo. But when I did Sonic, things just started clicking and taking off for me. And this guy just kind of reminds me of that. And, you know, he's kind of cool. Makes me happy. So, yeah, we got our regular base Sonic here. Next, let's take a look at our smiling Sonics. This is, like, Sonic. This is a good version of the figure. So the head sculpt, as you can see, is so much better than this version, like by so much. Major improvement. And I have 2 of them, as you can see. One of them's a little shinier. This would be the first one I got. I got him I got him just to have a better looking version of Sonic, pretty much. I don't remember if he came with the skateboard or not, but I do know that I just really wasn't digging this head sculpt anymore, and I saw him and I was like, I gotta get him. I gotta get a new version of Sonic. So I bought him at, what was it, Barnes & Noble? And yeah, he's a really cool, really nice base Sonic. I mean, every person who collects this line should have this version of Sonic, I believe. And then I'm a little foggy on where I got this one. This might have been I got him because of the skateboard that he came with. I'm not sure why, but I feel like I got him in a pack of some sort, though. I am not entirely sure. I feel like I got him because of the skateboard, though. I just know that I got this one first because he's glossier, and then this one next because he has the more matte finish. And I think he's really cool looking when he's matte like this compared to shiny. I like this one a little bit more, and I mean, I just explained why he's a lot more matte, a lot duller. He doesn't shine, and I like that better. So less plasticky looking, if you ask me. But yeah, that's my 2 regular smiling Sonics. Next, we're going to take a look at Angry Sonic, whose nose keeps going right up into his face. I can't get that pushed down. But he's just like all the other Sonics, except he is angry. Kind of looks like the cover of the Sonic Frontiers OST, sort of. And yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with this guy either. He looks really accurate to the game. And I'm glad that they made another variant of Sonic to put out rather than just the, 30,000 of these ones that you see in Walmart. We got an angry one, and I like that. He's, other than that, just the same Sonic as before. So, very nice. Up next, we have our Soap Shoes Sonics. I got 2 of them. I got this one because I wanted to, and I got this one with the Forms pack, and this one is, I'm not going to move him around. He stands like this just fine. I don't want to finagle with the pose too much because he is on the shelf. So, but this one I just got because I like the Soap Shoe Sonic and I wanted a duplicate, I guess. And yeah, he's, again, same smiling head sculpt as before with the matte paint finish. Looks great. He has a little bit tighter articulation than the rest of the figures for sure. You can get them into all the poses you want because it's Jakks and they have great articulation. Have them kind of grinding down some rails or something. There we go. Do whatever you want with him. Just a nice looking Sonic figure. So yeah, he's awesome. Up next, we're going to take a look at my Supersonics. So I can tell you which one I got from where each of these. So this is the first, oh, if you want to stay still. Okay, you can just back up. So this is the first ever Supersonic I got, and by extension, the first Sonic figure I ever got from Jakks. Not counting the bendy ones. I don't have any of those anymore, and I'm kind of sad. I wish I still had their bendable wire Sonic figures, because those go for a lot now, and honestly, they're kind of cool. Either way, yeah, so I can tell not only because of this little paint mark here that just showed up one day, I'm not sure how, and it's just been there since, but also because of that loose head that this one doesn't have. So this here is part of the first ever video of Sonic merch on this channel, which is, you know, kind of historic. He is just a really nice figure. Supersonic is awesome. I love when he has to go super. I really wish that in the 2010s they would have utilized that more, but whatever. Either way, great looking Supersonic, and it's the same with this one, like same exact sculpt and everything. I believe the arms maybe a little bit more bent, and the face is a little bit, I don't know, something's different with the paint if you look at them in real life. On camera they look the exact same, but yeah, I mean overall they are the exact same. And then in the background, as you can see here, he wouldn't stand up, which worries me about putting him back on the shelf, but oh well. I'll live. We have our Sonic Heroes 3-pack Supersonic, and he's super cool. Definitely my favorite of the three because he's shiny, and that's cool, I guess. Being shiny is cool. I really like also just the black paint on the mouth rather than white. The white makes it look weird, so having it be a black line looks a lot better. And other than that, exact same figure, he's just shiny. But because he's shiny, that makes him my favorite Supersonic that I have. So that's cool. Last up, we got the HEDGEHOG. I love the HEDGEHOG figure. Looking back on him, his head sculpt looks a little squashed and isn't all that like super accurate to the games, but I don't care. He still looks like the HEDGEHOG, which is all I care about. And he's so cool. I love his massive hands and arms. Like, he's just beastly, which is exactly what, not Supersonic, what HEDGEHOG Sonic should aim to be. Just like a beastly, huge, hulking character. And yeah, that's what he is. And this figure, I posted about it right when I found out. I was like, I think I'm dreaming, because I've been waiting for this, begging for this to come out for so long, and now he finally did, and I'm not disappointed, not one bit. His articulation and joints are tight. He's very well put together, very well made, and yeah, I just love this HEDGEHOG figure. All right, now for what I'd say is the most difficult part of doing the video for me, which is all the characters that aren't Sonic, but also aren't his enemy, all of Sonic's friends. I have so many of these other characters, and as you can see, they barely even fit on screen. So I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do this to get the characters in front of the camera so they focus, but also not knocking anything over. Okay, we're going to start with Tails, because obvious reasons. Tails is Sonic's best friend. Let's start with the first Tails figure I got. Yeah, this guy isn't great. So his pupils are very long for some reason, very loose articulation on the legs. Look at that jiggle, wow. They just really swivel around loosely. It's not great, and he's got a weird little black speck I've never been able to get off, weird brown marks on the side of the face. I desperately need an upgrade, and that's what he's for. But I guess he's still a start. This is the first Jakks Tails figure I got, besides the bendy wire one, and yeah, I mean, fair enough. He looks like the character, so that's all you can ask for. But as I mentioned, I did later on pick up this guy. This is the third Tails 4-inch figure I got. I got him second. I got him at the same time. I got Sonic at Barnes & Noble because I, again, was like, also Tails' head sculpt doesn't look great and his articulation is loose. I need a new one of those. So I picked him up. And he looks great. A lot better than the original. The eyes, the face, everything looks good. So He's the exact same figure as before, except his articulation is just so much better, and I'm sure you'll notice that when I shake him, there's no jiggle on anything. And yeah, just the superior Tails figure compared to the first one I got. And it just seems that Jakks has been getting so much better with time. So yeah. Finally, we have shiny Tails. So this is, again, the Sonic Heroes pack. I believe this is supposed to be, in Sonic Heroes, that's the name, the Sonic Heroes pack, when he's all powered up from Super Sonic. I haven't played the game yet, but I have seen the screenshots, so I do have the game. I need to play it still. It's a very nice looking figure, and this head sculpt has got to be by far my favorite. It looks the best. The eyes are not looking up or down or elongated too much or squashed too much. The pupils are a good size. Like, his eyes look lifelike and real, and good. Like, it's just a nice looking face. He's looking straight forward. It's not like this one where he's looking up. Like, it's just basic Tails, but he's shiny. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Next, we're gonna take a look at Knuckles here. So Knuckles, I actually couldn't tell you which one I got first. So I'd like to say it's this one. This is the one I got first, because the duplicate I got had this little paint stripe on the nose. I noticed some weird things with my figures, but I know that this is the first one I got then. That's all I was looking for. So, this Knuckles was the first version of Knuckles I got, as I keep saying over and over. He was, I was super excited to get him. I'd been looking for Knuckles forever, and I think they re-released him in some wave, and I don't remember which one, and that's how I got my hands on him. And he's just a nice looking figure. None of the Knuckles figures that I have look bad. I don't have a single bad looking Knuckles figure. So that just shows how much care, I guess, that all the companies put into Knuckles. It actually makes no sense as to why there's not a bad Knuckles figure that I own. Either way, he's just basic Knuckles. Same with this one. They're the same figure. I just got this in a 2-pack with Shadows for so I can get the blue emerald. And yeah, they look great. And, of course, Sonic Heroes shiny Knuckles. He's shiny, and he's Knuckles. What else can you ask for? So, yeah, super cool. It would have been nice if he was, like, pink or something like Super Knuckles, but I don't think Super Knuckles has been brought up in Frontiers. I don't know if he was joking or if that makes it canon, though. Either way, cool. Up next, we'll take a look at, because they're closest, Team Dark. So, Team Dark is comprised of, obviously, Rouge, Omega, and Shadow. And Shadow, as I mentioned with my Knuckles figures, I have 2 of, because I got a 2-pack of Shadow and Knuckles, so that way I could get both of them, I guess, like, or get the blue emerald. And this is the one that came with Knuckles in the 2-pack. He's got a bunch of white paint all over him. So, yeah, he's a pretty, I mean, they're both the same. And we'll take a look at Shadow first. He's a really good figure. What was I waffling on about earlier? These are gold. Oh my god, my memory. Okay. I don't know why my voice is also getting lost. I guess it's because I was lying to you. He does have the correct paint applications. So this first Shadow figure I got, again, he's part of the first video that I ever did on this channel. And I think this one looks better than this one. I don't know why, but something's off. I think it's some with maybe the eye placement on this one, but some looks off with this one compared to this. Also, the weird white paint on him. I don't know what that is there for. I guess because there's white on the chest fur and it somehow got over there. But otherwise, everything looks really good between these two. They're really accurate to the game, but again, and I'm going to just compare them right now. I'm going to use my first Shadow figure I ever got. Actually. This is the first Shadow figure I've ever owned. And you gotta, maybe I'm crazy, and you guys are going to say I'm crazy, but I think that the 2.5-inch version just has the more accurate sculpt compared to the games. But either way, that isn't to say that he isn't accurate to the games. He looks like he pretty much is from them, like he jumped out of the screen or something. So both my Shadows are super cool. Love them both. Up next, let's take a look at Rouge. She is, honestly, I think I was waffling on about quitting collecting Sonic figures after this because I wasn't enjoying it or something, and this Rouge figure was the final straw with Jakks' QC. She had some paint scuffing on her shirt there, but other than that, there's not much wrong with the QC. So, I don't know, I remember, I'm pretty sure, being like, I really just, the figures are kind of good, but I don't feel like collecting them anymore, and it's the final straw with their QC, and then I proceeded to keep collecting them because I like lied, and I lie a lot on this channel, I guess. Um, yeah, no, besides that, which is a glaring issue, everything else is fine. It looks like Rouge, and it's a really nice figure overall. So, cool character, cool figure, I guess. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. And now for my favorite figure of Team Dark, Omega. I think it's E102 Omega. He is just, look at him. He is beautiful. He definitely deserves his current aftermarket price of $200. And again, I lie on this channel all the time. Why is he $200? Anyways, so this figure is, not to say it's bad. This is a really good figure. I just don't understand the scalping thing with these toys of Sonic characters. It makes no sense to me that Super Shadow is going for $300. Metal Sonic Neo has been going ever since release for like at least $100, and that's just crazy to me. Same with Tangle the Lemur, Zombot Sonic. I haven't been able to find any of them for a reasonable price, and I haven't even seen them hit store shelves, let alone be available for purchase online. So it's crazy to me. Either way, it doesn't matter. Man, these guys have like a small layer of dust on top of them all. I need to wipe them down. That's kind of gross. Anyways, yeah, Omega here is just a really nice looking figure overall. So I'm really glad I picked him up when I did. I was like, I don't know who Omega is, but whatever. I kind of want more views on my channel, and Sonic does that. So I bought him, and I'm so glad, because if I was trying to get him now, I wouldn't. $200 is insane. So what is also insane is that they haven't re-released him. He's kind of an iconic member of everyone's favorite team, from what I've heard, Team Dark. So, I mean, they should re-release him at some point. They should release all the figures that are going for like $300. I think that's ridiculous that any Sonic figure at all is going for that much. They are cartoon characters, basically. Like, just let them be for $10. It makes no sense to me, but I guess same thing with Pokemon. It's pieces of paper and they're like hundreds of dollars, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting about that and just finish off that this is a great looking Omega figure. Alright, next let's take a look at Team Rose. Right here. So, starting off, let's look at Cream. Why not? Cream is a very nice looking figure. Disappointed that they gave her an ice cream cone instead of cheese. And actually, speaking of the Chow, I'd meant to include these guys with Team Rose. And I know they're 2.5 technically scaled, but same deal with Charmy, who I never got. They pretty much just scale with the 4-inch figures, so they're going to be with the 4-inch figures. As I was saying, though, Cream came with ice cream, I guess, which is cool, I suppose. Very accurate to the games. Looks really nice figure. I just wish that she came with cheese, and I got a second Chow to make it into cheese, so that way Cream and cheese could be together, but I haven't done it yet. All it would literally take is painting a bow tie on there. I'm sure I could even pop the head off this guy pretty easily. So, oh well. Yeah. Very nice figure representation of Cream, though. Nothing wrong with it. Now let's take a look at the Chow, being I brought them up. I got 2 of them. As I said, I got one of them to represent cheese later on. And I think this is the first one I got. I believe I picked him up with silver just to have a Chow. And he's pretty cool. I can tell this is the first one because the paint is just better on this guy, on this front thing. It's like a gradient going down. Other than that, they're both the same, though. So, not much else to talk about with the Chow. Much better than Tomy's Chow, obviously. They're colored. They are articulated. They go up and down on their legs and arms and all that. Or I guess their legs don't, but their arms anyways. Heads move all the way around. So, yeah, Jakks did a great job with these Chow, just like all the other Sonic-related stuff, really. They're really knocking it out of the park with this line, and they have been ever since it started. Up next, let's take a look at Amy Rose. I've another figure I kind of wish they'd re-release because she's like $30 right now, but whatever. I don't need another one, but after Sonic Movie 4, I kind of wanted a duplicate to go with the rest of my duplicates. Really, they just kind of, I use them for toy photography every once in a while, but it doesn't get published much because I'm not good at it right now. I'm still trying to get better at it. Either way, though, this Amy figure is great. Also, it'd be nice to have a new one because this one, I stupidly put her in a bag going somewhere with the hammer in her hand, and it got violently ripped out and scraped all the paint off the handle and into her hand. So she looks like she's, I don't know. It's not a good look, for sure, Amy. Either way, so, yeah, I mean, there's no way I can spin the hammer to make it have, like, the brown handle bit. Not that that matters, because I don't display her like this or anything. It's always like this. The figure itself, though, is very accurate to Amy from the games. Head sculpt looks great. All of the figures, it seems, or a lot of them anyways, have this open mouth smile, and I wish they do, like, less of that. Just, like, a closed mouth, smiling Amy, whatever. But yeah, this is a very accurate look to her. This is how she is in the games, and it's like they pulled her right out of them. So, yeah, nice figure. And finally, we have Big the Cat. This guy is so, like, he's just so cool. This is one of the few that I'm pretty sure my grandma got me instead of me buying him. So she's awesome for that. And Big the Cat is just just a chill guy, obviously. And his figure is so fun. I love these big figures that Jakks does, like Big and Vector. I just love them. And I wish they'd do one like that of Eggman, because Eggman being at the 4-inch mark along with the rest of the characters just kind of looks off to me. So I wish he would be a little bit larger, maybe like Vector sized. But either way, this Big the Cat is just such a great figure overall. I mean, sure, kind of plain, nothing much going on, just a purple cat. But hey, that's all he is, and that's all he's really asking for. He's not sophisticated in any way, shape, or form. And again, I just love the big figure. I think it's really cool. Up next, let's take a look at the Team Chaotix that I have. The only two that really matter, which is SBO and Vector. I'm not a fan of Charmy at all. I find him super annoying, so I didn't buy him. Especially in this price that he goes for. I'm pretty sure he's like $50, and he's like this big. So I'm not spending $50 on a character I don't even like. But yeah, let's start off with SBO. SBO is super cool. They re-released him recently, which I was kind of surprised about. Of all the figures to re-release, SBO isn't one that I thought of. I can't believe there's this much dust on them. I don't know why I can't believe that. It's not like I touch them very often. So, I seriously need to dust, though. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah. So, SBO is just a great-looking figure, as the rest of them are. So I think that the smile is really out of place. It's scary to see him smiling. He's never smiling, so I don't think they should have gone with that. Other than that, though, he has all the detail he needs, his little back spikes, his tail. Yeah, just a good-looking SBO figure. And lastly, for Chaotix, I guess I only had two of them. I have Vector here, and Vector is awesome. Again, with the big figures, I love the big guys. And Vector is just overall a cool character. Especially after reading the comics, I start respecting a lot of the characters more than let me speak English here. What I was trying to say is that after reading the comics, I respect the characters a lot more when I see them in action a lot more. So I finished up, as I said, IDW's comic collection number 5, which included like the lead up to Surge and Kit's, introduction, and that included before they were showed up, there was just a big investigation with Team Chaotix, and I got to see a lot of Vector and his road rage, and I just think he's a super cool character, and I'm super glad I picked him up. I don't know how much he goes for on the aftermarket now, but it doesn't matter. I'm sure it's probably like $3,000 like the rest of them. Glad I have him, and I like this jaw, too. I like that they gave him an articulated jaw. Overall, Vector is great. Love the figure. Now, let's take a look at Blaze the Cat here. Blaze is just another level of, like, awesome figures, I think. one of my favorites of the modern line for sure. She's just like how she looks in the games. I love Sonic Rush. Haven't played Rush Adventure, but I'm sure I'd love that one too. Sonic 06 is a game that I've played, not to completion, but it's a game that I've played. Either way, every time Blaze shows up, she means business and she's super cool. And that's all that really matters. So, also in the comics too, when she shows up, it's always fun. So, her coat's all royal, of course. She's the princess of the Soul Dimension, something like that. I mean, not much else to say. Just a really accurate and good-looking figure. Very, like, regal, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Also, I like that they didn't make her smile because she's not a character that typically smiles. Just like how SBO should have gotten a bit of a frown. I'm glad that they gave Blaze, like, just more of this solemn, straightforward, stoic face, I guess. So, yeah. Very nice. And ending off, I guess we're going to end with Silver here. I love the Silver figures. I think that they are both amazing. Silver is a great character. I know a lot of people don't like him because of 06, because of Forces. And I don't like when people criticize him for losing to Infinite or whatever. He was fighting him for a while, and Infinite even gave Sonic a run for his money. Like, every time that he fought him up until the end. And Sonic, I'm pretty sure, needed the Avatar to help him to defeat Infinite. So I don't like when people are like, bro, Silver's literally useless. He lost to Infinite. Because so did Sonic, like 3 times. So I don't like that. Either way. So Silver here looks great. I love his design. Who was it? Justin's Collectibles, I think. He said he just didn't like the design at all. And I guess I can kind of see it. His hairdo is a little crazy, but I don't know. I think it's iconic. I think Silver's awesome looking. And especially with his super form. Although, again, with the wrong color. I'll put it up on the side here, but he's Supersonic Yellow. He needs to be a brighter yellow. Other than that, though, both these figures, and this too, this extra detail is really nice. So both these figures are super accurate to the game. I like how Silver's in sort of like this default pose, but you can also have him using his psychokinesis powers. And his boots, I really like his boots. They're cool looking to me. I like the like little gemstone on them. I like the just overall look of them. They're a little futuristic, as they should be. And they're more advanced than any of the other characters' shoes. They've got a lot more going on with the cuffs here, the gemstone, the dark blue with the white stripe into the light blue. I think the only character's shoes that really get sophisticated like that are like Shadows because of the jet boosters. But either way, both versions of Silver here look great. So, yeah. Now finishing up with the 4-inch segment of the video, or the 4-inch modern segment of the video, we have our villains. So this is where all the coolest designs in Sonic are, I think. All of Sonic's villains just are so menacing and cool looking. So yeah, let's start with Eggman. Why not? Again, Eggman was like the first ever figure I got for Sonic, I guess. So, the first ever Sonic video I did, I had 3 figures, and I've pointed all of them out before. It was Eggman, that Super Sonic from before, and the Shadow from before. And these are what got me into collecting the Sonic figures as a whole. And I just love them all so much. All these, like, my first 3, I just have a special regard for. And this Eggman is so cool. He's due for a re-release for sure, and definitely an upscale, because when you put him next to, say, Metal Sonic, he's just barely taller than Metal Sonic, just by his head. And I think he needs to be a lot taller, like, you know, vector sized, as I said. Because in the comics, when you see him and stuff, I mean, he literally is grabbing Starline's leg and flinging him around like Hulk in the first Avengers movie with Loki. Like, he's not just barely taller than the Sonic characters. He's a menacing, like, you know, size compared to them. He's taller. And Vector's, like, you know, a good size for that. Sure, like, he's taller than Eggman. He's a lot taller than Metal Sonic. So definitely think that when they re-release Eggman, whenever they decide to do that, they should make him taller, which I know they won't, but I'd love that. Other than that, though, he looks great. It's exactly Eggman from the video games. So he's got his fit, all the drip on. He's got his glasses along with whatever goggles these are. And overall, he's just a great looking figure. So, yeah, awesome Eggman. All right, so up next, we're going to look at our Metal Sonics here. And I just reviewed this one. They're the same figure, just different paint. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure I talked enough about what I like about them in that last video, but I'm going to just say pretty much everything again. I love the designs of Metal Sonic. I love how these figures look. They're super menacing, especially like on a shelf next to Sonic. I like the blue one more. I mean, he's got a lot more of an angry look to him, but they both look awesome. I just don't think that they should be pre-posed like this. Pre-posing, I feel, should be left to the 2.5-inch line, and these figures should have a lot more freedom of what you want to do with them, because Metal Sonic can only bend his arm like this on this arm, and I don't get that. But other than that, they both look spectacular, and there's even like the red in here that isn't on here, but the details on both of them is just immaculate. The only thing I would really change is having metal where the metal's supposed to be, metallic paint, and, you know, I've mentioned that a lot, and not much else to say. The Metal Sonics are super cool. Up next, we're going to take a look at Chaos. Chaos here is just, when I first saw him come out, I was, like, astonished that they would make this figure, because Jakks has been doing some deep cuts in Sonic's, like, lesser-known figures and characters with, I mean, like Blaze the Cat and even Big the Cat. So having Chaos on there was super exciting for me, especially with the Master Emerald, and I knew I had to have him, and I pretty much bought him the second I heard he was out. And yeah, this figure still is amazing. I feel like they maybe could have included an actual brain inside rather than just a pink suggestion of a brain, but other than that, this Chaos figure being fully translucent looks super cool, and I really think that they should do a perfect Chaos playset of some sort with the 2.5-inch line with, like, Supersonic of some sort. But either way, this Chaos figure is super cool. I mean, he's all bendy and fluid as he should be, like water, I guess. That's what he is. And, man, he just looks awesome. Maybe some more figures of Chaos would be cool with his different, you know, forms, but I think that a lot of the other forms he has when he gets the emeralds would be kind of hard to translate into figure form. So I'm happy with this one, and yeah, Chaos is super cool. He should have had a bigger role in Sonic Forces instead of just getting blasted into a puddle upon his first appearance and then never showing up again for the rest of the game. But, you know, there's a lot of issues with Forces, so that's the least of its worries. Up next, let's do Jet the Hawk. Jet the Hawk is, this figure is super cool. I love the bird characters in Sonic because I don't know what it is about the bird characters and looking super just sleek and cool. This feather like thing he has going on back here is awesome to me. The beak, I really like the beaks on them. I don't know why. I just think it makes them look extra cool. And whenever I do play Sonic Forces, which isn't often, I always make my creative character a bird after Jet. Because, I mean, just look at him. How can you not think that this is a cool design? How can you not like Jet? I mean, Jet is a horrible person. He's not nice at all. But he looks cool, so it makes up for everything. I included him with the rivals. I guess he teams up with Sonic sometimes in the comics, but for the most part, he is a villain. So other than that, though, his extreme gear is awesome. I love, you know, having him do his little thing on here every time I take him off the shelf, which isn't frequent, but I do it sometimes just to do this with him. Have him wobbling around on his extreme gear. And yeah, he's just a really cool figure. Lots of posability on and off the board. And he just like has aura, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, just an aura of cool. And yeah, I love this Jet figure. I really hope they make the rest of the Babylon Rogues. Wave would be awesome, and Storm especially. I keep talking about how much I like the big figures, so Storm would be super cool for me because I like him. Now, finally, my favorite Sonic villain design, besides Metal Sonic probably, like, of all time, Infinite. He is so incredibly menacing. Like, when I played Sonic Forces, there's at some point in the game when you're going through Metro City, I think it's called, or something like that. You're going through the city, and you're like flying off something, you're flying through the air, and Infinite just pulls up next to you, flies next to you, and just looks at you. And that is just, it was so menacing to me then, still is now. His motivations are flawed, his character is very flawed. But other than that, I mean, just his whole look. I mean, look at him. He is a menacing, scary villain, and I really, this is the biggest issue with Sonic Forces with me is Infinite, because he had the potential to be the coolest Sonic villain ever, just with design alone. If they'd have just made him be mad that Shadow killed all of his friends and not mad that Shadow called him weak, and his motivations are that all of his friends are dead, so he's seeking revenge, not that he got called weak, he could have been such a cool character, but he just seems so babyish because of that. And, you know, oh well. Because this design is super cool. So I do hope they use him more. Sonic Team seems to have been doing a lot of lore changes, personality changes, and retcons recently. So they could easily bring Infinite back and fix him. Because, I mean, even his abilities, the Phantom Ruby is so cool, being able to create illusions of anything and anyone you want to fight for you, and they act and have the same abilities, like just the same. It's super cool to me. So yeah, although I'm still not sure how it works, in my headcanon, those little cubes that are always around when he summons things, I just think that the Ruby summons those cubes, which are actual matter, and then use some sort of hologram magic to take form, and that's what I think. Because people say, like, in Sonic Forces, they're like, it's just an illusion, but then, like, why am I literally running on the ceiling? It's so that too, how does it bend reality? Oh, it's so confusing. But it's really cool though too. They did a huge disservice to Infinite, man. I really wish that they'd have done better by the character. But yeah, enough yapping about the character himself. The figure is amazing and definitely up there, along with like Blaze, with just one of my favorite 4-inch figures, if not my favorite one, just because I cannot stress enough how much I love this design. It is one of the coolest Sonic designs ever for me. He's so menacing. So yeah, love this figure. And to finish off our modern lineup, we're going to take a look at the other two collector's figures I have. I still don't have Shadow, as I mentioned. I might get him. I was going to wait for him to go on sale, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, so I may as well get him. I've seen more pictures of him, especially with Sonic here, and I think he looks, you know, just fine next to him. I thought he'd, like, not look as good, be not as to scale, but he seems fine, so I'll probably pick him up. But regardless, let's take a look at Tails first. I want to take a look at Tails first. This figure is amazing. Best... Oh, sorry. I don't know, I just apologized to the piece of plastic on my desk. Anyways, best figure of Tails from Jakks. Obviously, all the collector's figures are going to be their best effort to make the characters come to life. And yeah, this definitely shows. Tails looks just like he does in the games, and it's amazing. This figure is so good. He's really smooth, too, with his articulation. It's all really tight, but easily movable. And I just love that about the figures, the collector's figures. They're all that way. So besides modern Sonic back there, they're all made with a similar soft plastic that is almost like a rubber, and it gives them like this really soft and also matte feeling. So Tails here is really cool, and I really love this figure. I wish they'd make Knuckles or something. I get why they made Shadow Sonic X Shadow Generations, but Knuckles I think would be the obvious third character. And also, why haven't they made a classic Tails? It's really weird, the order in which they're making these figures. It makes no sense to me, but who am I to judge? I buy him anyways. So yeah, very nice. Alright, now time for what, in my opinion, is the very best Sonic the Hedgehog action figure ever. Like, nothing else beats this, in my opinion. And that, again, that's my opinion. Other people might like something Jazwares made, like their Superposers or their 3-inch Sonic whatever, or even just like a 4-inch Jakks Sonic figure, but this is the most accurate, best ever, best looking Sonic the Hedgehog figure ever. And besides the fact that he has a odd plastic shine to him that the rest of them don't, and I don't know why they made him with this sort of plastic instead of the rubbery one, I don't think that takes away too much, because I just look at him. he's got, I mean, the face that I have him with, it looks super accurate to really just the games and everything. Comics, games, whatever. This is the most accurate, versatile, best Sonic figure. Well, he's not the most versatile. That would have to go to a 4-inch figure, for sure, because $50 is a little crazy for him. And now he goes for even more. He's super hard to find. But either way, any Sonic character, any Sonic collector that collects Sonic merchandise should have this, I believe. So, I think he should be re-released for sure, especially with that more matte tone, so everyone can have him, because he shouldn't be gatekept behind scalpers. None of the figures should be, but especially not this one. Everyone who wants this figure should be able to have it, I think, for a reasonable price, because, I mean, just look at him. This is Sonic the Hedgehog from the games, and this is the very best Sonic figure that money can buy, I believe, personally. And I mean, sure, I don't have all of the Sonic figures in the world, but I don't think my opinion would ever change. This is my favorite representation of Sonic the Hedgehog in plastic. Alright, moving on to Sonic Prime merchandise, and we're going to start with what I find to be the superior lineup of figures, which is the 2.5-inch line. So I have the ones from New York and the ones from No Place, I'd like to say it is, the pirate one. I really didn't want the forest ones, Boss Cage Maze, because those didn't look great. None of the figures in there look great. And then the Grim Troopers one I kind of wanted, but I just never got, and I could get it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Either way, though, I'd say that this is the best representation of the 2.5-inch line for all that came out of it. And yeah, I mean, let's start with, who else? Sonic. So, starting with Sonic himself here, I don't know why Pirate Sonic is so much bigger. He is a big figure for sure. I'm pretty sure he's almost 3-inch at this point. No, he's not. I lied again. I'm really bad with that. Oh no, I lied a second time. Yeah, he is basically a 3-inch figure. So he's a lot larger. I do still have, let's bring Silver out, for example. Silver, like, technically ends around here. This is just his hair. He's a lot larger than Silver, a lot taller than him. And it'd be even better if I could find, there he is, Sonic himself, to really just show off. This guy's a giant, and I don't know why. Of the two versions of Prime Sonic, I think the pirate one is weaker. I don't like his shade of blue as much. The paint is a lot sloppier on it for sure. So it almost looks like a custom, and the joints are a lot looser on him. So not the greatest. So, and actually, I lied to you guys. Sonic here and the Sonic Prime 2.5-inch figures are what got me into the 2.5-inch line overall. With, having this 3-pack back here, and we'll get to that later. But I got Silver just to kind of go along with the rest of them because I wanted Silver. But yeah, no, these guys actually are amazing. I really like the 2.5-inch Sonic Prime figures. As I said, they're like the best representation, especially this Sonic, and like, get rid of this. All of these are amazing. I think that this is the weakest of the ones that I own. I just think that the paint is done sloppily on him. But taking a look at New York Sonic, he looks amazing. He has his eyes are kind of bright for some reason, but the blue they used is amazing. His tech looks super cool. His shoes look awesome. As to why they couldn't make the original 5-inch figure look this good, is beyond me. They have more room to work on that one, so I can't believe that it turned out the way it did. And we'll get there when we get there. But yeah, Sonic here is just, like, New York Sonic is a spectacular 2.5-inch figure. I love him a lot. He's great. Next, instead of taking a look by character, let's do by dimension, I guess. We'll start with 9 here. 9's pretty cool. I mixed on his character in the show. He reminded me a lot of Lost World Tails. Really edgy, but it works because unlike regular Tails, 9 is actually supposed to be edgy, and at least he's reasonable in his crash outs, I feel. So I really like these cybernetic legs. I mean, obviously he's 9 because he has 9 tails or whatever. So, I mean, the outfit looks super cool, and I think that 9, besides, I don't know what it was about him, honestly, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, but overall, he's still a pretty good character and a cool design. I think he's designed really cool. I think my main issue is having a version of Tails be the villain, which I guess is cool, but I don't know why I wasn't a fan of it. Looking back on it, honestly, having a version of Tails be the villain is a cool concept, so I don't know what I'm on about. Either way, really good character design. Overall, good character, so yeah. Alright, up next, we got Rusty Rose. Rusty Rose is really cool. I like her character design a lot, and the figure is very accurate to that design. Just the concept of Amy being roboticized and turned against Sonic is cool to me. So, Amy actually got a lot of character, very important roles in that show, and I like that a lot. And overall, I mean, this figure looks great, looks just like she did in the show. And I really wish that the larger scale had this level of quality. It's surprising that they don't, considering that they're larger figures, but I really don't think that they look as good as a 2.5 inch, at least earlier on. Up next, let's take a look at the no-place figures. Starting off, we'll do Rouge first. Rouge looks really good, and I think that this is the weakest of the three, and she still looks amazing. Looks exactly like she did in this show. She's got a bit of like this bland expression going on. I don't have any of their cutlasses with me right now. I'm pretty sure I know where they are, but I just didn't feel like digging through everything to find them. Either way, Pirate Rouge is really cool. Nice figure, good articulated wings. I guess, I don't know if I'm surprised or not that they did that. Either way, they did it, and it's cool. And her outfit, I mean, it's piratey. It's Pirate Rouge. I don't know what else to say. Really good figure, though. All right, up next here is going to be the Pirate Tails, I guess. And this one's really cool. I love his little robotic arm that he has back here. I find that addition, I mean, just cool, as I said. So he has another arm. This is the one that is intended to hold his sword. So I guess he can climb around, fly around, and fight with this extra arm. And it's really cool. It even has a little bit of wrist articulation, which is nice. And yeah, this Pirate Tails is like, I mean, a really nice looking Tails figure. Looks just like he did in the show. And his outfit, again, it's Pirate Tails, I guess. It looks like a piratey version of Tails. So I like the bandana holding his ear down. And yeah, very nice. All right, and last but not least is what I consider to be the best 2.5 inch Sonic Prime figure, and that's Knuckles the Dread. The amount of detail they packed into this guy is crazy. Even he has his golden tooth. He has so many colors on his outfit, the like sea green, gold, purple, white, black, all just in that little area right there, and that's kind of crazy. It is odd that he has bandanas here that aren't, painted, but everything else is painted on. And it's a really nice looking Knuckles figure. So, I mean, not much else to say. It's the best Sonic Prime 2.5 inch figure, in my opinion. Alright, and now finally, time for my least favorite Jakks line that they've ever released. I really just stopped collecting these after a little bit, and that is the 5 inch Prime line. And that's mainly because I think that at best they're Grim Sonic Trooper, and at worst, they're less than your average McDonald's toy. So they've really just ranged from high to low in quality, and overall, a lot of it wasn't great. So we're going to start off with our Sonics here. This guy, I've expressed so many times how ugly I think this figure is. His eyes are just bright neon green almost, and the fur is nearly purple at this point. On camera, it looks dark blue. This is like on camera, the fur looks really nice, but in person, and if you own this figure, you'll know this is like almost purple. The joints being like bright yellow for the elbow joints, and then normal flesh color between. This figure doesn't look good. The only thing I'd argue that looks good on the figure are the gloves and shoes because they're like really well detailed and painted. Everything else, the figure feels cheap. The joints squeak when you move them. I mean, like, I'm not sure if you can hear it. It's an audible squeak when you actually have them in the room with you, though. Maybe you can hear it on camera. But yeah, the joints squeak when they use them. They wobble around excessively when you shake the figure up a little bit. And it's just not a great figure at all. It feels cheap. Luckily, they did improve on Boss Cage Maze Sonic. He doesn't wobble around as much, but still the joints, and that's one of my biggest problems with this whole line is the joints on the figures. They squeak audibly every time you move them. They're cheap. The plastic feels cheap. It's like, I mean, when I grab him and I grab Knuckles, Knuckles weighs more. And maybe I'm crazy for that, and I'm just like, but Knuckles feels heavier and quality. This feels cheap and just like not very good. The joints are also kind of annoying to handle, especially in the leg area, because I don't know what it is, but the legs get twisted around a lot. And the way they did the legs, you have to do a lot of finagling to even be able to get a good running pose. Like, this is not a good running pose, Sonic. I don't know who told you that. But yeah, at least this one looks better, but still just not a great figure. Up next, we'll take a look at 9. 9 is a pretty good figure. I like his robot arms on his back, so that's a bonus for sure. He's got his cool fit on. The swoosh on his face there, I mean, turn him upside down, he's got a Nike swoosh there, and it's kind of weird to me. I kind of see an expression there, but I don't know. I think that having it more centered, or I don't know, maybe just not fully on his cheek would have been fine. None of the other character, I mean, I guess Sonic does. Sonic has it all the way out there, so I guess it's fine that Tails does. It's just very odd. Like, if you turn it like this, you can't even see it. But Sonic does it plenty enough, so whatever. I can't complain too much about that. But again, with the cheap feeling figure, I mean, this plastic just doesn't feel... A lot of his weight actually comes from his tails, it feels like, which aren't, like, painted metallic or painted at all. So, which is fine. They're fully articulated, so whatever. The fur texturing is really nice, and the coloration I feel like is a little bright, but overall fine. So this is a decent figure. It's not horrible. It's not the best, but it's not bad. It's just a figure, a good figure of 9 from the show. So Boss Cage Maze figures are actually pretty good. Again, the leg joints make me angry. I couldn't even get her in a standing pose because of the way that I have, like, they are set up right now. So, but Thorn Rose is really cool. She's the only one that came with an accessory, which is her hammer, and that's really cool. But posing these feels like such a chore. I don't know, the way they did the joints for me just makes it feel like a chore to pose them. So Thorn Rose, though, is a really cool figure, and I really like her. I feel like all the paint detail, the coloration, everything on her is great. It's just fine by me, and nothing really wrong with this figure. I think this is a great figure, so it's really just the joints that do her in for me. And then taking a look at Knuckles, I forget what he's called in Boss Cage Maze, Gnarly Knuckles or something like that. I don't know. He's really cool too. I think his paint details are great. I like his little pan flute. Gradients on his boxing gloves, whatever you want to call them. How it's like a vine with like thorned plants on. It's a really cool looking figure. He's got a fun little hat too. So I think that this ain't a horrible figure. It's, again, really well painted. It's just the joints, man. The joints, and I'm going to say it for every single figure except for one of them here. 2 of them, actually. But it's just the joints don't serve the figure well. It feels kind of hard to pose a lot of the time, especially in the legs. But whatever. Overall, Knuckles here. Knuckles and Amy, the Boss Cage Maze figures that aren't the Boss Cage Maze Sonic, are very well painted and good looking and accurate to the show, I feel. So I like them quite a lot. All right, next we'll take a look at Shadow here. And I remember when I first got him, I was talking about how this is like the best Shadow ever, most posable Shadow ever. And of course, the movie figures knocked that out of the park. But even just this one, I think, this regular 4-inch Shadow, I still think is honestly better in retrospect. I mean, I like the skin tone on this one a little better. I think it's a little dark, but at least it's not orange. So, and I like the head sculpt overall, but I'm not even going to mention the joints again. You can already sense my complaints about the joints. The inhibitor rings, though, they're gold on this figure, not on this one. On this figure, they're just, yellow. And even the fur, the chest fur, has like just kind of a piece of plastic, flat, no detail, and this is like fully ruffled up and all that. So it's odd that they'd put that on there. Also, a thing that I'm just kind of now noticing with these figures is that when they do add fur detail, it's only on the head and it isn't consistent through the whole figure. And that's another thing that's a little off-putting to me, but oh well. This is still a really great Shadow figure. Not the best that Jakks has ever done, but certainly not the worst. Actually, yeah, considering Jakks' track record? Can I say my R's? Wow, that was embarrassing. Okay, as I was saying, considering Jakks' track record with an R and not a W, this is probably the worst Shadow figure they've done, and it's a good figure. So, unless I'm forgetting one, I don't think I am. I really love this figure, I do, but it's just, listen to this squeak. You can't probably hear it, but oh, that one's bad. That's his joint. Yikes. So very cheap feeling, and I don't know, off-putting to me. And up next, we're gonna look at Mr. Dr. Eggman. Oh, those squeaky joints, man. But this one actually doesn't give me a hard time posing him around. I like his joints on here a lot more. He has the same knee joints, but they've never gotten off on me, so I can always put his legs forward and backward. Other than that, everything else is really solid on there. The legs are really all that squeaks on him. So everything else moves tight and smooth. I like his, toupee being able to move around. And, I mean, yeah. Overall, just a really nice figure of Mr. Dr. Eggman. I have been tempted to get whatever the other version of Eggman they released is because I like this one so much. I mean, it's a nice figure, and my favorite part is he scales really well with 4-inch figures, I believe. I think that this is about how tall he should be. Obviously, Jakks isn't going to make him this tall, and this might even be a little too tall. But he shouldn't be, the same height as Sonic, because that is weird. But either way, he is just a really nice looking figure, nice feeling figure. Nice feeling might be a stretch. Either way, though, it's a good figure of Mr. Dr. Eggman. Good posability, and probably one of my favorites. Yeah, I'd say in my top 2. However, you've probably been noticing me dodging this guy, because this is the number 1 figure that I own from this line. Everything about him is just cool. I mean, his leg is, of course, stuck like this, and I have to always do that, do a weird rotation just to be able to get him to kick outwards. But anyways, other than that small issue, okay, now it won't go. So the joints are still a major issue with him. Only for the legs, though. Everything else, his joints are fine. You can see my phone camera on there, so that's pretty lit. And yeah, this figure is just the best that I own for this line, and it's really well done. I love the model of it. I like the colors. I'm gonna say it. I like it. I like how he looks better than Chaos Sonic. He's a lot more menacing, and he doesn't talk. And Chaos Sonic was excessive for me. I know that's the point of the character, but he just wouldn't shut up, and it was so annoying, almost more annoying than Sonic himself in that show. I'm sorry, but I couldn't also deal with Sonic himself in that show. He was so naive and, ugh. Anyways, this figure is, I mean, look at the pose I got him in right now. Super cool. I'm sure you can tell I love the Metal Sonic designs. Menacing is always the word that comes to mind when I look at them, and it's no different here. These darker drab colors really gives him a scary look. And he was definitely formidable going up against Shadow and Sonic. He's no pushover, just like no Metal Sonic should be a pushover, really. I mean, there are a few, but this guy is definitely one of the characters from the show, and he's barely even a character. He's just a robot pawn, but loved him so much. One thing I did like a lot about the show is that all the badniks from Mr. Dr. Eggman and the Egg Council, I believe is what they're called, they were actually difficult for the gang to face off against. Sonic had a hard time against them, Shadow had a hard time against them, and especially when these guys started coming out, there was a lot of trouble going up against them. So Sonic Prime really did really well on making the enemies seem tough to fight. So, yeah. This figure though, I mean, it looks amazing to me. I don't know why he has whiskers. If you look right there, I don't maybe that's supposed to be voice transmission holes or something, but he doesn't speak, so I don't know why they'd be there. I like the translucent dome representing the screen on his head, and his eyes look, I mean, just the white slits. They're really cool. Overall, this figure is super good, and definitely my favorite one of the line. So my top three would probably be this guy, Mr. Dr. Eggman, and Shadow. Like, those are the only three that I truly really like. I guess I do really like the Boss Cage Maze, Amy, and Knuckles too. So the rest of them are mid, I guess. Even Boss Cage, Amy, and Knuckles, just because the joints alone are kind of mid. But this one definitely, the only thing that makes me angry is these leg joints right here. Everything else this is a very good figure. All right, and finally, we're ending with the movie figures. So the movie characters, I mean, there's a lot of lines for them because there have been 3 movies and 2 of them got action figure lines. So I'm just going to start off here with my 4-inch Sonic the Hedgehog 2 characters. And, I mean, as always, we're going to start with Sonic. So I've got 4 versions of him because of that pack. I really regret not ever picking up Super Sonic. But, oh well, what do you do about it? At least I got him twice in this Sonic 3 line. But yeah, so we've got 4 versions of Sonic up here, and let's take a look at base Sonic first. So this is, I mean, when he came out, it was revolutionary for all Sonic fans that collect merchandise. This was the greatest Sonic figure at the time. The amount of articulation he could pull off, I mean, his arm, like, joints here, you know, being able to bend at the elbow, just all of the versatility of him. And really it was just adding those elbow joints that made everyone so happy. This Sonic figure and the whole line in general, everyone loved it when the movie came out. And I remember that. Like, it was by far like one of the most loved pieces of merchandise for that Jakks ever released. And I remember that. And it's just crazy to me how far that Jakks has come, especially with the figures that are yet to come. Spoiler with Shadow's shoe there, I guess. Yeah, so Sonic here, I mean, for whatever reason, he has that weird slash down his stomach there. Oh well, what do you do? So he was, I mean, this is just a great figure. He looks exactly like he does in the movie. And the thing I love about him is they do fur texture the whole figure through. As I mentioned with Prime, they only do it on the head. Everything else, just flat, bland. But when you take Sonic here, this movie Sonic, every single inch of him is covered in this fur texture, except for the parts that shouldn't have fur texturing, you know, gloves, shoes, snout, and eyes. But other than that, his quills and his fur goes through the whole figure, and it makes him just look so cool and high quality, really. At the time, he was only $10. I don't know how much he goes for now, but $10 with this much quality. I mean, this fur texture, it really just felt like a quality good figure you're buying, and it is a quality good figure. So yeah, he's great. Then there's the Sonic variant 3-pack. I guess they had to sell more merchandise, so we've got Party Sonic here with his chain, his I think this is like a towel or some sort, made to look like a robe, and he's got one of Donut Lord's ties draped over his head, the shades, and he's just ready to party out. And yeah, I mean, exact same figure as this, just with all the extra stuff, and his smile's also different on there, it looks like. So, I mean, pretty cool. Other than that, not much else different with him. Then we've got Baseball Sonic here. He's wearing the umpire vest, but also like sort of a pitcher get up here. And this is from the end of the movie, obviously, when he's playing baseball with Knuckles and Tails and all them. And yeah, this is another great looking figure. I love the sculpt on his glove. So, and this is just a fun little variant that they included. I like it. Then the last variant is Sonic here in his little coat from when he and Tails go down to the cabin in someplace in Russia, I believe it was, to, you know, find shelter while they're looking for the Master Emerald. And I really like this outfit he has on. I mean, obviously he can't put his arms down just like I don't think could in the movies, or maybe I'm thinking about Tails, but either way, super bundled up here and very limited articulation, but that's fine by me. He's a really funny looking guy. I like this figure. Then next will be Tails. He has his little pilot's cap on. I never picked up the original version of Tails, unfortunately. So, and I also wish that there was a Tails in this style too that they released, because it would have been good to have them both. But this version of Tails is just fine, movie Tails here, and I mean, for what he is, he's really good. Again, with the great articulation on his elbows, and I mean, his little cap is fun. It's a fun figure overall. So, and again, with the fur texturing all over, it just really adds that next level of detail and quality that, I mean, this movie line was something else when it came out. I remember everyone loved it. Next, we're going to look at Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik. So, this is his style that we got from movie 2, and the only style that we ever got for him, unfortunately, and I'll get more on that later. But yeah, this is still a really good look for him, and this original figure is pretty great. I mean, he looks just like Jim Carrey, and this is just an earlier figure of him. And I think his stature is a little bit weird. He kind of looks like a robot, but for a first human figure besides Eggman himself, but that version of Eggman doesn't even look like a regular human. So for a first, actual regular human figure, this is a really nice looking Eggman, or Robotnik, or whatever you want to call him. And yeah, I mean, he's a fun guy. Alright, and the last figure we're going to take a look at from the Sonic 2 line will be Movie Knuckles. This is my favorite figure from the Sonic 2 line, for sure. He's got his electricity coursing through him. I got this variant instead of the one without. And I mean, the nostalgia alone in the hype for Knuckles really helps this figure, but also he's just a great looking figure overall. He looks just like he did in the movie, and I mean, it really helps that his character in the movie is just so great. Idris Elba really brought him to life with that voice that really suits him. I think that his voice in the adventure games is really suiting for him as well, but Idris Elba's sort of I don't know, the way he voices him and makes him sound really it makes sense for that to be Knuckles. And his character as well, he's I mean, of course he's still comic relief, but he's not as stupid as he's always been portrayed in Boom and in the 2010 era games. He's not just a meathead with muscle. He is smart, just not about everyday life and living on Earth. But that's because he's not used to living on Earth forever, and he's not a genius like Tails. He's like a tribal warrior, so it makes sense that he's really smart in fighting and training, and he's very loyal and compassionate to his friends. But also, sort of like Thor in the Thor movies, he's not accustomed to how things go on Earth, and that's what gives him his comedic flair to him. So, but it's not just that he's stupid, and that's the whole thing. He's not just stupid about everything. He knows stuff, just not stuff about living on Earth. And that's what I love about the character. He can actually be taken very seriously. And this design especially, which is captured well in this figure, really shows how seriously he can be taken. I mean, this shape of his, he's very strong looking. I mean, broad chest, massive fists. You would not want to get punched by this guy. You can just tell by looking at him. And yeah, this Knuckles figure looks amazing. Alright, and up next we're going to look at all of the movie 2.5-inch figures. Don't mind Gerald there. He can't stand, so he's doing some push-ups. But yeah, let's start with our movie 2 characters here. And I can't find the other Robotnik, so there is a movie 3 version of him and a movie 2 version of him. They both look like this, pretty much, just a re-release, so yeah. But for 2.5-inch figures, these guys are really great. Starting with Sonic here, if it'll focus on him. There we are. Oh, no thanks. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit so that way my camera doesn't decide to switch quality like that. He looks really good. I mean, again, just a upscaled version or downscaled version of the larger counterpart, even with the weird looking thing on there. But the amount of detail on this guy is crazy. I mean, he has all that fur detail all around again. So his shoes are good. He has a little bit of texturing on the heel, but I mean, Seems like the main souls are reserved for branding and legal stuff. So yeah, overall, just a really cool looking version of Movie 2 Sonic in a smaller form. Then we got Tails here, Movie Tails. I did actually see the Sonic 3 version of him in Walmart, but I didn't pick him up because he looked just like this. So I figured I already have one. I don't need another. And again, really good detailing, good fur texture. Not much else to say on these guys. They're just a really nice little Tails here. I like them a lot. Then up next, we're going to look at Robotnik here. And yeah, I mean, again, just a really nice looking figure. You can't tell as much that it's Jim Carrey. Knowing beforehand that it is Jim Carrey helps find the image in there. And the likeness, once you know who it is still pretty good. But of course, this is a 2.5 inch tall figure, so the likeness isn't going to be there very much at all. And that's fine. It still looks like Robotnik, good enough. So, and again, just a scaled down version. Even his stature is the same, the weird robot square-like pose, so not a bad figure. And we got Knuckles here, and I mean, just again, as far as the movie 2 figures go, this is the best of the 2.5 inch line. Just same, everything that I said before about the taller version still applies here. He is menacing and just built. He looks strong, and yeah, it's just a really nice representation of movie Knuckles from the second movie. And up next, let's look at movie 3 Sonic. So, and let's grab this. Movie 3 Sonic looks a lot better in all of his variants here. I have 3 of them. A lot better than movie 2 Sonic. He's a lot slimmer, a lot of a kinder expression almost, I guess. And he just, I think, looks a lot better. He has the full texturing on the soles of his shoes, if you can see that there. And all 3 of them, I mean, just look great. So I like the expression a lot more. This one looks like he's sticking his tongue out a little, which is funny, but the other 2 look normal. There's not much I can really say on them. They're just like the movie 2 figure, just with better proportions and a better face sculpt. So it looks great. Then let's take a look at Robotnik here, Gerald Robotnik specifically. The first figure we've gotten of Gerald Robotnik, besides maybe the 5-inch one if that came first. But either way, we haven't gotten merchandise of Gerald Robotnik before, and it's good to get him now in his movie form. And this does portray the likeness of Jim Carrey's Gerald Robotnik very well for the scale. Like, a lot better than this figure back here. So, I mean, and I mentioned this before on the original video I did, but if you zoom in on that badge, you'll see it literally says Dr. Gerald Robotnik on it, which is insane that they would have that written out like that. So yeah, the figure is super detailed. The only issue is that he doesn't stand. So other than that, though, this Gerald Robotnik is wonderful. If it would like to focus. There we are. Now you can see him all crisp and clean. As I said, wonderful. Next, let's look at the scrap metal over here. All of Eggman's genius robots. First up, let's just take a look at all the egg pods, I think is what they're called. They're all the same, except for this one actually has paint on the front. The other 2 do not. So these are basically white pieces of plastic. I mean, the wings do come out like that, but whatever. They look like actual just eggs with a little bit more technological flair. So I don't like these very much. Very lazy from Jakks, and they should have painted it like they did this one. Because at least this one isn't like a full white, just blob of plastic given it with. I also like the burrito on there, and the fact that the burrito has more attention and paint than the actual robot itself on both versions is really funny to me. So yeah, I feel like these are kind of done dirty. They could have had a lot more done with them as far as paint goes, but oh well. And then I have 3 Buzz Bombers from the movies. I don't have any of their stands with me right now, but yeah, they're all the same. They look pretty cool. I like the Buzz Bomber designs a lot. And they do have quite a fair amount of detail. I mean, they're white, black, and red eye. Good enough. Next, let's take a look at movie 3 Knuckles. And besides the fact that his legs are doing this weird thing, he does still stand, so that's good. And his face sculpt is so much better than movie 2's. Like, movie 2 looks great, looks like he did in the movie. This, an extra step of lifelike to me. Like, it just looks that much more lifelike and realistic, and it's a great look for him. So his build is pretty much the same as the old figure, just with the legs doing this weird thing. I don't get why they're doing that, but past that, great looking figure. Knuckles here is snarling, he's angry, he's ready to fight. Looks awesome. And now, saving the best for last, obviously, are Shadow figures. So starting off, we'll just take a look at regular movie Shadow. I remember getting him early. I mean, I got him, Sonic, and Robotnik early. And the hype of finally, like, getting movie Shadow anything. I'm pretty sure this was shortly after the trailer drop that showed him. Or maybe it was before. I don't even remember when I got this. Almost a year ago now, though. And because it was in August that I got him. So yeah, it would have been before we even saw him on a trailer that I was getting this piece of merchandise. And I was so excited. I got 2 of them. I got the one in the pack, and I got one single package, and I have them still packaged. So yeah, he looks amazing. Like, the best looking of all of the figures, if you ask me. His expression is spot on. He's, a little upset, indifferent. I don't know how to explain it, but he looks just super good. The fur detail all around, and even the shoes, like the shoe detail. This is my favorite, like, movie 2.5-inch figure. So, he just looks spectacular, and this design, I don't know, man, it's so good. And then I was lucky enough to get the pack with Gerald and Super Shadow before product images were even out on Amazon. I just saw Wave 3, and I was like, boy, I sure hope that it actually is Wave 3, because I kind of want that. And I ordered it not even knowing what was in it. And then he showed up, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm pretty sure I'd seen on Reddit, because I looked up Wave 3, and there's a Reddit post, and I went on there, and I was like, oh, I think it's going to be Super Shadow and Gerald, and it was. So I was super happy to, for a good price, get these. And for some reason, the one with Supersonic Shadow, Base Shadow, and Agent Stone is harder to get and more expensive than the one that has literally Super Shadow and the first ever figure of Gerald. I don't know why that one still goes for like 20-something, 30-something. And Wave 2, which has Agent Stone and Supersonic, goes for 40. Agent Stone's a great figure and a great character, but Super Shadow, I figure this one would have sold more, or gone for higher. Either way, this figure is amazing. I love the color. He's super bright. Same expression, really, as the Shadow before. They both are just super menacing. Gotta love it. All right, and now for the last batch of figures I have to go through. That is the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog 3 5-inch line. The peak, really, of Jakks Sonic figures. These are, everyone is talking about them. Spider Criminal even got on with them, which he did with the Sonic 2, but he picked up some of these and reviewed them. Everyone did, it seemed like, because these figures were super articulated, super detailed, super everything. They're super good figures. And, you can just see it from here. The quality, the everything. They are amazing. So, yeah, let's just get right into them. We're going to start off here with base Sonic. And, he looks like he jumped off the screen. I really love these plastic guys. I wasn't so sure of them at first, but I can say now I truly do love them. I got this, the Wave 1 version, so he still has the plastic up there. But, no joint squeak, really. Everything's super smooth. He has butterfly joints. He has waist swivel. He has everything that a $15 figure really, you wouldn't expect them to have, butterfly joints and waist swivel at a $15 price point. But he did. And I was really worried when I first heard that the Sonic Movie 3 figures are going to be 5 inches, because I was like, flashbacks to Prime, and I was like, no, please don't let him be like that. Nothing like the Prime figures. These are the most posable, Like, highly articulated, best Sonic figures you can get, probably. So, I'm only reason I really like the collector's Sonic the most out of any Sonic figure is just because I prefer the game designs. But as far as any like just general Sonic merchandise, if you want a all around great Sonic movie figure, or not even just Sonic movie, just figure of Sonic the Hedgehog, this is the best. You'll get the most posing out of him. He's $15. I mean, it's amazing what they did for $15. And of course, he came with his, or he didn't come with it, but there was a light up version. I got that pack and showed it off, so he glows. Pretty cool. Less articulation, but still a really nice figure. Next up, we'll look at Tails and Knuckles. This Tails I really like. I didn't get the other one because I thought he was a little bit, I mean, I've talked about it. Soulless, mascot looking bland. I like this one though. I like his furrowed brow. He has personality in his face sculpt, and I mean, again with the fur, and he's just so like fluffy looking. And the individually articulated tails is another just like mile they didn't have to take, but they did. I mean, this guy is amazing. Definitely the best Tails figure. Besides maybe, again, the collector's version, and that's just because I prefer the game designs, but this still is an amazing Tails figure. One of the best, for sure, if not the best. So, yeah. Then Knuckles here, looking absolutely, like, just awesome. He towers over even Sonic. Like, he's so much taller. So they got the scaling of Knuckles correct. Not Robotnik still, but oh well. Yeah, Knuckles is so... just look at him. He is a beefcake of a figure. He's heavy. He's got a little bit of squeaky joints going on, but at least you can pose him. And he just is massive, man. Look at him. He's built. He's silver on the shoes, which is a good detail. Random of me to like just point that out, but good paint decals and everything. This is a very solid, literally and figuratively, solid Knuckles figure. Next, let's look at the Robotniks. These guys are awesome. I'm just going to say it, though. I'm really disappointed in Jakks for ending the line already. It doesn't seem like we're getting any more Sonic Movie 3 merchandise. We never even got the Robotniks in their tech suits, let alone, like, Jim Carrey in his, like, suit before he got the new one or whatever. You know, like, his scrapped together version of this, but he's, like, gained so much weight he had to add extra fabric, whatever. We didn't even get an Agent Stone in this like scale, and it's really disappointing to me because those things are such key parts of the movie. Like Agent Stone, the tracks, or not the track suits, the tech suits, they're such important aspects of the movie that the fact they didn't make them, and the fact that they didn't make them just for the money alone, has me like just stunned. Like, that's a little extreme. They're pieces of plastic. Saying I'm stunned over it is a little extreme. But I'm disappointed. It has me disappointed because they would have been so... They just look so cool, and as a collector, I'd have just loved to have, you know, them in their final suits sort of thing, like their tech suits looking all cool, game accurate, but oh well. What we got is really good. So Robotnik here is movie 2 Robotnik, I guess. Better looking version of the 4-inch, and of course in the 5-inch scale now. Looks just like Jim Carrey. I mean, this is Jim Carrey, exact. And yeah, looks great. Then Gerald Robotnik looks even better, if you ask me. Again, the name badge does say his name on it. Let's zoom in on that. It says Dr. Gerald Robotnik on there. There we go. Yeah, this figure and this figure, both of them, are spectacular. Great in design. I'm going to mainly look at this one because we've already seen movie 2 Robotnik. We've seen enough of him. We've gotten so many figures of him. But Gerald, we haven't seen much of him. This looks just like he did in the movie. So yeah, great job, Jakks. Up next, let's look at base form Shadow here. Got 2 versions of him, of course. We have our Shadow the Hedgehog from... just basic wave 1. This is the updated version after they got rid of the plastic quills on his back, the see-through ones. And I think it looks so much better. Also added extra range of motion in the head. So I'm glad I picked him up a little bit later on. And this Shadow is just, he looks great. Look at him. I decided not to pick up the Wave 2 version with his like open mouth. I thought that this expression just is better. So yeah, I mean, overall though, looking at him, he is just really, again, highly articulated, highly detailed, and amazing. And getting him as well, especially getting this version. I got that one first before the movie came out, and just seeing so much Super Shadow before, or not Super Shadow, regular base Shadow, before the movie even came out, and seeing all this merchandise was so cool. But I mean, look how posable he is, man. It's so good. But yeah, we also got this version. This is the first one I got. He's super cool. Lights up, of course. Not as much as Sonic did, but still a pretty good amount of light up. Not as much flexibility as mentioned before, but hey, still a really good figure. And finally, we are going to end off with our Super Sonic, Super Shadow. These guys are both great, and one thing I love especially is that they're the correct colors. Jakks, please re-release Super Shadow. I'm going to say it over and over. He needs to be the right color. But anyways, yeah, this Super Shadow, Super Sonic, they look brilliant, man. They look so good. That when they fought, and even like when they worked together to take down the Ark, it was just cinema, man. Pure cinema. So, these figures are just like, they just remind me of the peak of the movie, and that's, I mean, they're the centerpiece of the movie shelf for sure. So, let's take a look at Super Sonic first. He's got all the detail you would expect, all of the nice fur and cuff and all that stuff. Really good range of motion on the head. He looks that far up, down, all the way around. And overall is just a really nice looking Super Sonic. Then, of course, he did have his glowing variant, which released first, I'm pretty sure. If not, this one released first, then this pack, then he released last on his own. But either way, very bright compared to the original glow-up figures, and I like that a lot. Next, we'll take a look at Super Shadow here. Again, amazing figure. Looks just amazing like he did in the movie. Just seeing Super Shadow again, even like, not even again, in the movie it was the first time seeing Super Shadow and the first time seeing Shadow. The hype was real, and I was, I mean, so excited just to see that alone. The whole movie was an experience for me. I'm just gonna say that much, but seeing this especially, it was so much hype. I loved the movie, and this figure reminds me of the best part, the Super Shadow sort of bits. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Either way, waffling aside, this figure looks beautiful. He looks, I mean, exactly like he did in the movie. I love his expression. He looks like he's ready to get down to business. Shadow always is ready to get down to business, but this, he looks like he's ready to go. And again, of course, he did come with his, glowing figure. Very bright, very good. These guys both were much brighter than the originals. So, yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. This took me 3 hours to film. Now it's probably going to take me another 2 to edit. So, and I have to have it out at this point today. So it's taken a lot of work. So I really hope that this gains a little bit of traction at least. So if you did make it to the end, thank you very much. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.